Today, we have Terry Stenlin, along with James Leisure and Caesar Hildago with Nitel to discuss global managed services. Thank you, Terry.
Thank you very much. Let me share my screen so you can all follow along. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, thank you for having me on. Myself, James, and Caesar help support your guys' account. We're all a bit new to TDM, Claris, and Datatel, so thank you guys for having us on. Again, I'm Terry Stenlin. I'm the Regional Channel Director, and we'll be supporting you guys moving forward. And again, we just want to take a quick few minutes here to talk about Nitel. I'll give you a quick overview of who we are as a company, so you are familiar and comfortable with who we are, and bring us in front of your customers, and then give you a little overview of products that we feel are differentiated in the market and that we focus on, and we'll do a little deep dive into a few of those product sets. So again, thank you for having us on. Let me go ahead and start. Again, what we want you guys to take away from the training is, what do you think of Nitel for? So again, just quickly, we want you all to think of Nitel for global network connectivity, as well as global SD-WAN and SASE. Those two things give us a little bit of an edge and a differentiator. So let me start by diving into who Nitel is. Why would you want to do business with us? So first and foremost, we are channel only. So I've spent, I've been in the industry now a little over 25 years, spent time with MCIs, 13 years over at CenturyLink, and really understand the conflict between direct and the channel. And the one thing I love about Nitel is we are channel only. All of our resources are focused on the channel. So our project management teams, our customer success teams, our billing teams, engineering, we all work with partners and partners only. So we're very accustomed to working with the channel. And the other thing about being channel only is we take all of our input from our channel partners to try to get better for you all as a community. So being channel focused is what we are all about. Along with being channel focused, we are very focused on customer success, that customer experience, and we're winning awards due to that customer experience. Again, I spent 13 years over at CenturyLink, started over there when it was US West, and we had an escalation path for customers. I left there in 2017, and we couldn't get anything done. But at Nitel, we do have the ability to loop in our executive teams. We have an escalation path that we can get folks on calls. So the customer experience here is what I consider top-notch, best I've seen in the industry since I've been in the industry for the last 25 years. So excited about what we can do to help enhance your customer experience and help you guys look good and keep those customers billing for a long time, which is obviously the key. All right, so that's kind of who Nitel is and what our focus is. Let me dive in quickly now to our product sets so we can kind of start looking at that stuff, as we do have a short amount of time, obviously. So again, think of us for global network as a service. We've got over 330 relationships, carrier relationships in the United States, and over 1,100 carrier relationships worldwide. We did bring in a new product manager, Mike Frayne, a few years ago, and Mike has completely revamped the way we go to market globally. So we used to go through aggregators globally as well, which is, a markup on top of a markup. And He's come in, redid all that, and we're getting very competitive in terms of our pricing internationally, our ability to deliver internationally. From an international perspective, what you'll see from us is we're less than 10 milliseconds from any cloud on-ramp for AWS, Azure, or Google worldwide. We're in all 34 regions. So if you've got customers that are looking to be in multiple regions in different areas throughout the world, we can provide that kind of cloud connectivity for them, give them an easy on-ramp into their cloud. We're about less than 10 milliseconds away from 80% of the world's population. So we have a great footprint in terms of where we can get that connectivity. And again, what that allows us to do is to understand what your customers' needs are, provide redundant services for them if they're looking at SD-WAN as an example, provide diverse carriers, and we can get as granular as looking at diverse access into buildings and so forth. So that network connectivity for us is big globally. And on top of being able to provide the connectivity globally, we can also provide the services. So we can ship our SD-WAN equipment into 70 different countries, and we can do the install in those countries, 70 different plus countries. So again, as you look at your customer base, not only in the United States, where we can very ubiquitously provide network connectivity and SD-WAN, SASE, and all of the implementation services that go along with that, we can also do that globally. So I do have a few questions at the end that I'll be asking for some gift cards. So some of this information just might be on those questions. One other thing I'd like to point out on this slide is we have several different flavors of SD-WAN that we can provide. We are very adept at VMware. Fortinet are kind of our two big guys. VMware is obviously going through some changes with the purchase from Broadcom. So we're a little shy on VMware at the moment. But again, they're getting their stuff hammered out. And so VMware and Fortinet is another great option. Both we can do worldwide. But we can also do Cisco, Barracuda, Meraki, Palo Alto. So as you run into your customers that have very specific needs in terms of what equipment they use, know that we have an expertise in several different flavors of SD-WAN that we can bring to the table along with that network connectivity. So the other thing that we really do and do well is network managed services. We do have 2 NOCs, as well as a managed services center that monitor our networks and our customers 24/7. And this allows us to kind of really lock in the SASE services on that and provide a lot of the security that goes along with the network connectivity. So that's all part of our managed service center, but you'll see here that we can do kind of that full stack of SASE services, starting with zero trust, intrusion detection, intrusion prevention, anti-malware. We also do the CASB, or Cloud Access Security Broker, so securing their cloud assets, as well as data loss prevention, so understanding who's logging into the system, what information they're looking at, and what information they're trying to exfiltrate from the system, and making sure that we are not allowing information that shouldn't be pulled down. We're protecting that information as well. And then finally, our managed services center, we bring a high level of expertise to the SD-WAN environment. We did just purchase a company called WAN Dynamics that is a big Palo Alto shop, but they really get into the nitty-gritty of SD-WAN. And we're excited to be adding those resources into the Nitel family. We picked up, 10 really great engineers as well as some additional folks in our managed service center and NOC that can dive in more directly into the Palo Alto and how where your customers' apps reside, and then how we secure those applications, whether they're in the cloud, whether they're in the data center. We've got the expertise to kind of dig in, understand that customer's environment, and then create a scenario where we can put them into the best fit for them, whether that be feature functionality, whether that be ease of use, whether that be cost driven. We have all those things that we can bring to the table through that managed services center. And again, one of the things I wanted to point out on our managed services center is with our customers that have SD-WAN and or SASE services with us, and they can have those independently with network connectivity or without. Our managed services center for those particular customers that have SD-WAN and SASE, they connect right into our tier 3 engineering support. So they don't have to go through an 800 number. They don't have to, they call right into an engineer that's familiar with their account, has been with their account from the sales process through the implementation cycle, and then that ongoing customer support. So they'll have an engineer that's really dedicated to their account that knows them well, which is our way of helping those customers get to resolution faster. And I want to move that one down. And then I just wanted to point out a few scenarios of how we help those customers, right? Reducing cost, reducing risk, improving performance, giving that level of redundancy. Let me move to the next slide as well. And what we can do for your customers and for you is we help coordinate everything. So your customers can come to us for that network connectivity through the SD-WAN, through the SASE, and we do all of the implementation, connecting into the application layer and getting everything installed for them. So it's kind of really is a one-stop shop for them where they can rely on us and our portal to help them understand where they're at in the sales cycle, where we're at in the implementation of services. And then once those services get installed, they can use that portal to help manage their services. All right. That is kind of a bit of a wrap on what we really specialize in. Again, to give that quick overview, connectivity, network connectivity. In the United States, we can get you just about anywhere. We do specialize. We have been known to specialize in areas that are hard to reach. You know, South Dakota, Iowa, you know, parts of the Midwest, Texas, all these areas that have limited connectivity. We do have quite a few underlying carriers that help us get that connectivity. We can now take that globally, and then we can do, we're very, very good at the SD-WAN and managed services that ride on top of that network layer. And then we provide that network security that helps them secure that. So what is a good customer profile for us? And you'll see that, look, multi-locations, customers that have multiple carriers, multiple processes, multiple bills, multiple portals, and they're just having a tough time managing all that. Those are fantastic potential customers for us. We can put all that stuff per customer's need into a single bill, into a single account, and obviously into a single portal where they can manage all those carriers, but use us as that single point of contact for the customer service. So multi-location customers are great. We have been doing very, very well in retail as of late. We do a lot in healthcare. We do a lot in finance. So we're, vertically, we're kind of neutral in that respect. Obviously, international locations, any customer that you have that has international locations is great for us. Any customer that's looking to add in that network layer security. Again, intrusion detection, intrusion prevention, anti-malware, cloud security broker, if they're looking for least privilege access, understanding who's connecting into the system and making sure that we've got their privileges aligned to their job functionality. We can bring all that to the table in terms of a security. And then real-time applications. How are they connecting into the cloud, and how are they accessing those cloud assets? Again, we're within 10 milliseconds of any of the cloud on-ramps. So anybody that really needs or is looking at their cloud assets, where those applications lie, and how are they getting to those applications, are great for us. And then limited IT staff is this last one. Man, we've so many of our customers. I just signed a 460 location retail opportunity. They've got 2 IT folks that handle the whole thing, just totally underwater. We were able to take a lot of that off their plate. I have listed a bunch of questions. I know you guys are all professionals in the industry, but I have listed some questions that we typically try to uncover and understand in terms of qualifying. I've listed those here. I will make sure that we get this deck out so everybody has access to this. But I have listed some questions here. So, right, how are you securing your WAN today? How many locations do you have? How are you getting to your remote workers, and how are they accessing your applications? Are some of the questions. Another big one, obviously, for SD-WAN is, do they need seamless transition of traffic? So if you're on a voice call, do you need that voice call to maintain connectivity when you transition from one network to another? That leads us into high availability and what types of connectivity and or carriers we might put them into. Specific to SD-WAN, we might look at VMware as opposed to Versa for that instant transition. And so, and then how are they protecting that their data from unauthorized users, and getting into some of those security questions. So we did want to point out some of those questions as well. So I do have a few gift cards to give out. If everybody wants to get on their chat, I'm going to ask a few questions, and the first folks to answer, we will get you out a $25 Amazon gift card for answering the questions. So here we go. Our first question. So can anyone name 2 manufacturers that Nitel provides for SD-WAN and SASE? And let me get into the chat myself.
All right, Terry. The first one to answer is Bonnie. Yeah, Bonnie Anderson, or is it Fortinet?
Fortinet and Cisco.
Perfect. Bonnie, way to go.
Yay, Bonnie.
Just taking a quick note, Bonnie, so we can make sure we get you connected. All right, and question number 2. Whoops, did I click on the right one? Oh, whoop, no. All right. I covered this in our slide on our global thing, but how many countries can Nitel provide services in worldwide?
All right, our first answer is from Robert Bowling, and he said 70.
That is correct. So
Yay, Robert.
Thank you, Robert, for that. And Robert, to clarify, what we can do is we can provide SD-WAN, send equipment, and provide implementation into 70 countries worldwide. We can also provide network connectivity into 190 countries worldwide. So from a connectivity perspective, we've got even a little bit more juice in the tank to get that connectivity out, but can provide SD-WAN services in 70 countries. So thank you very much. Okay, so that is my presentation. Again, I want to reiterate, when you think of Nitel, please think of us for that network aggregation, our ability to bring customers into a single portal, single bill, single agreement, make that easy for them to manage their connectivity needs, and think of Nitel for global SD-WAN and SASE services, where we can offer a multitude of vendors and really tailor in our SD-WAN solutions to meet the customer's needs, as opposed to try to push them into a VMware or a Velo or a Versa application. We can really understand those customers' needs and get them in tune with exactly what's going to benefit their environment the best.
No, I just wanted to quickly introduce myself. Like Terry, I'm the channel manager here in the Pacific Northwest, and I cover Idaho, Washington, Oregon. Just want to make myself available to everybody and anybody that, in the future, if you have any questions or any opportunities, by all means, reach out early and often. So yeah, if there's questions, please.
All right, our first question is, give us an example of a recent large win, type of customer, type of solution, and what, in your opinion, was the key factor that won the deal for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a manufacturing company based out of Washington, and I don't know if you would call it large, but it was a 6-site deal, and I guess I will bring them up because they're really in the wheelhouse of what Nitel does size wise. They're 6 sites, but they each had dual circuits and SD-WAN. So in this case, they had an old MPLS. They didn't have redundancy built in. And so what Nitel was able to do was to go in, qualify all of their sites for broadband connectivity as well as DIA connectivity. It ended up being, I think, 3 different carriers, for all aggregated into one solution. We leveraged Velo Cloud for the SD-WAN piece of it as well. And so all in all, it was really a great deal for the customer, but also for the partner, in that we were able to add about $100 a month in gross profit to the Velo Cloud piece. So it gave us a vehicle by which to add some profit to the deal, and we were able to provide the partner with a 2x spiff that totaled over $13,000 one-time payment, and that's in addition to their ongoing commissions. So, yeah.
All right,
And
our
I'll
next
give
question is,
I
go
can
ahead,
give a
Harry.
quick example as well. We did just sell a 460 location retail customer, a restaurant chain, and they were looking for redundancy and to add in that kind of that network layer of security. And we had to do that in a very inexpensive manner as a franchisee. The franchisees didn't want to, step up to the plate for a big total. It's obviously very competitive in the food market. And so we were able to sell them SD-WAN services with that kind of that base layer, enhanced firewall services that gave them that security piece. And I think what really allowed us to win is they were a big VMware shop, and we were able to match their VMware configurations that they had in the past, and made it very easy for their limited IT staff to move over to the SD-WAN, provide that redundancy for the franchisees, but without changing a lot for that IT staff. So it made it very easy for them.
Okay, great. Our next question is, do you have a Starlink offering with your service?
We do. So we go through Speedcast to sell Starlink. I have been selling quite a bit of it as of recently over the last few months. And look, one of the advantages to Starlink, say via Viasat or another satellite service, is it really is quite a bit lower latency for the low Earth orbit satellite services. But yes, we do offer Starlink as well.
And do you offer POTS replacement products?
That we do not. So as part of HyperCore networks, we do have an Experience switch and do SIP trunking, but it's not a big focus of what we do. We really are more network connectivity and SD-WAN and are trying to step away a little bit from the voice and do not do a POTS replacement.
Do you offer UCaaS globally?
I'm happy to cover that one, and the answer is no. I come from that world of UCaaS. The UCaaS companies can barely install UCaaS. You don't want Nitel doing it for you. Our core competency, as Terry has reiterated, is network as a service, and we just don't want to be in the UCaaS game. If you need a cloud PBX, like as part of the solution, we can do it, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's not our core competency.
All right. Do you pair VMware with Palo Alto for security?
Yes, we absolutely can. So we have, with WAN Dynamics, they've brought in a high level of expertise in the Palo Alto marketplace. So we can do the Palo Alto firewall and integrate that into their VMware SD-WAN platform. Yes.
All right. Now going back to Starlink, oops. Well, do you have a managed solution that manages and monitors the platform?
Can you repeat that?
Sorry, we had a computer glitch there. Do you have a managed solution that manages and monitors the platform for Starlink?
Yes, we do. So again, we have 2 NOCs. One of our NOCs is in Chicago. Our other NOC is in Costa Rica. All of our NOCs are run by Nitel badged employees. We're 100% Nitel back. And we have our managed services center. But yes, we are monitoring our network connectivity 24/7. We do proactive outreach if we see an issue. And again, with our SD-WAN customers that run into our managed services center, we're opening up trouble tickets. One other thing I would mention in that is we do have a remote reboot service. So one of the biggest challenges in getting tickets open with the underlying carriers is confirming power. And we do have a remote reboot service that would allow us to remotely reboot the service, verify that the power is working, and then get those trouble tickets open very quickly. So that is all part of that service to monitor and manage our networks for the customer.
Okay. And next question is, what does your install process look like?
Yep, I'll cover that one there, James. Again, I've been in the industry 25 years. I worked with CenturyLink, MCI. I've been around. I worked with fixed wireless companies. I love our installation process. So orders get submitted. James or I will get those orders. We submit them into the system, and we get assigned a project management team. James or I can typically set up a call with the team, get them ingratiated with you and or the customer and or both. And our project management team will essentially soup to nuts work with you and your customer to get you set up. We do, weekly calls. Typically, we definitely send out emails when we get through any step of the process. And the great news is all of that is updated in our portal. And so you can go right into the portal and see where you're at in terms of the installation process. Has FOC date been given? What is the underlying circuit IDs? All that stuff is in the portal as well. So we make it very easy for you and the customer through that installation process, which again, I haven't seen this kind of level of commitment to that installation process that Nitel has. I'm very impressed personally with it.
I would just add to that, Terry, on that note, our install really, it starts pre-sale, right? And for these larger, more strategic deals, we will put together what we call Spark Call, and it's an opportunity for us to actually bring in those department heads. So introducing you and or the customer to those project managers and those team members that you'll be working with. So we found that to be of great value.
And the next question is install always rip and replace? Is it all new service in the 460 location example?
In that example, it was, yes. Typically, we can't take over billing on an existing circuit. As an example, if it's a lumen circuit, we would have to kind of rip and replace to provide new services to get you guys paid. But that is not the case with our SD-WAN and SASE offering. A customer can bring their own network to the table, and then we can provide the SD-WAN and SASE on the top of that and still do the monitoring. So for the network piece, yes, it would be rip and replace. If you're looking for customers that are moving to SD-WAN and want to keep their own network, we can accommodate that as well.
We have really great resources, and these are customer facing folks, right? So, Terry and I, we look good, we sound good, but these guys are the big brains. They know the technology behind these solutions in and out. And so putting them in front of your customer is a great resource and really goes a long way in closing business.